Pasalamatan ko karon ang Ginoo sa mga katuigan nga naangkon ko, ug bisan pa sa akong mga kasakitan, giatiman niya ako ug giampingan. Unsa man ang ibalos ko sa Dios sa mga kaayuhan nga naangkon ko, dili kabayran sa salapin ni ang kinabuhi ko, ihalat ko kanimo.
Hello, good day everyone. Lalo na po sa ating mga grade 7. So, i-discuss po ngayon ang ating module 3 entitled Properties of the Operation on Integers. So, in these lessons, you are expected to state and illustrate the different properties of the operation on integers. So, mayroon tayong closure property, commutative property, associative property, distributive property, identity property, and then the inverse property. So, sa ating module, kung nakikita nyo dyan, mayroon tayong notations and symbols. So in this segment, you will learn some of the notation and symbols pertaining to properties of real numbers applied in the operations of integers. So, itong mga symbols na ito ang guide nyo para malalaman kung anong mga klaseng properties ang ating mga integers, so real numbers. So first, mayroon tayong closure property under addition and multiplication. So, kung nakita nyo dyan, ang symbol is A or B is element, then A plus B is also an element or natural numbers. Also, ganun din sa multiplication. So, in other words, any real numbers or integers added by another real numbers is equals to real numbers. That is the closure property. In our commutative property of addition, so kung napansin nyo dyan sa ating symbols or notation is mayroon tayong A plus B equals to B plus A. So, nagka-baliktad sila. So, in a commutative property of addition, kahit baliktarin mo ang given real numbers, yung sagot nila is the same real number. So, for example, ang A natin is 1. Ang B natin is 2. So, 1 plus 2 is 3. And then sa kabila naman is 2 plus 1 is the same as 3 also. So, that is the principle of commutative property. Kahit magkabaliktaran, yung addition niya, so, ang sagot is the same answer. So, how about the commutative property of multiplication? So, itong ating symbols is AB or equals A times B. That is the operation here, multiplication. So, equals to B times A or yung BE. So, ang ibig sabihin, kahit magkabaliktad yung pagkasulat ng ating real numbers or integers, yung sagot niya is the same. So, for example, 2 times 3. And this kabila naman is 3 times 2. So, 2 times 3, that is 6. Sa kabila is 3 times 2 is also 6. That is the principle of commutative property under the or multiplication. So, next, mayroon din tayong associative property of addition. So from the word associate, so group, oh, di ba? Group, that is the, the technique there. So para malalaman mo na associative property siya because mayroon siyang grouping. So because this is the property or associative property of addition, so of course ang grouping ay plus. So kung nakita nyo dyan, mayroon tayong A plus B and then plus C. So sabi dyan, if you have to group the A plus B and then sa kabila naman is B plus C, ang sagot niya is the same. Alright? So for example, yung values natin ng A, B, C is 1, 2, 3. Yung A natin is 1, ang B natin is 2, ang 3 is 3. Ang C is 3. So ang A 1, B is 2, ang C is 3. So the same thing daw, try nga natin. So for example, ang A plus 2, that is 3, plus 3, so is 6, tama? So A plus 2, 3 plus 3 because our C is 3, so 6. So how about sa kabila? So ang A natin is 1, tama? Ang B natin is 2, so 2 plus 3 because C is 3. So 2 plus 3, that is 5, plus 1 is also 6. So kahit anong gawin mong grouping within the property of addition, associative property of addition, ang sagot niya is same answer. So how about the associative property of multiplication? So ito naman siya is grouping but the operation is multiplication. So sabi dyan, so kung nakita nyo sa ating notation symbols, mayroon tayong gin-group na AB, that is A times B and then times C. So sa kabila naman, ang gin-group niya is yung B at saka C. So A times BC. So ang ibig sabihin, so kung napag-aralan nyo sa ating past lesson, uunahin muna natin yung group because gymdas nga, di ba? Gymdas. So ang ibig sabihin, kung ano naka-grouping or naka-group, so dapat unahin solve. So dito ginuna niya ang AB, dito naman ginuna niya ang BC. But according to the property, yung sagot niya is the same. Try nga natin. For example, ang A natin is 2, ang B natin is 3, ang C natin is 4. Try natin. So, ang sa kabila naman is dito 2, 3, 4. The same thing. So 2 times 3, that is 6. Tama? So 2 times 3, that is 6 times 4. 2, 3, 4 man tayo. So 6 times 4, that is 24. How about sa kabila? So ang A natin is 2, ang B natin is 3. So 3 times, ang C natin is 4. Tama? So 3 times 4, that is 12. Times yung A natin is 2, that is 24. So tama nga siya. So ang ibig sabihin, ang property nito will help you to understand that kahit magkabaliktad ang grouping nila under the multiplication operation ay equal yung sagot. So next is the distributive property. From the word distribute, so ang ibig sabihin, you have to multiply. So kung nakita nyo dyan sa ating symbols, mayroon tayong A sa labas. If you have, kung napansin niyo, mayroon tayong A. So, and then, kung napansin niyo sa right side, ay gin-distribute niya. Tama? Distribute using the operation or the multiplication operation. So for example, A, open parenthesis, ang ibig sabihin times. So B plus C. So ang ibig sabihin ng A, i-distribute using multiplication sa loob. So A times B, that is AB. A times B. Next, A times C, that is AC. That's why nagiging ganyan yung sagot niya. Yung sa right side. So again, A times B, that is AB. A times C, that is AC. That is called distributive property. So next, how about the additive identity property. So from the word add, ang ibig sabihin, anong principle na ito? So if you have seen a plus 0 equals to a, ang ibig sabihin, any integers or real numbers added by 0 equals to the same number. Yan ang the principle of additive identity property. So a plus 0 equals to a. So any number multiplied by 0 is the same number. How about the multiplicative identity property? Dito naman is using the number 1 because this is the multiplicative. Ang ibig sabihin, we have to multiply, so times. So sabi dyan is a times 1 equals to a. So it means that any numbers, alright, real numbers, integers multiplied by 1 is equals to same real numbers. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng ating multiplicative identity property. So how about the multiplicative inverse property? Inverse property. Ibig sabihin inverse, baliktad. Right? So in the fraction term, that is the reciprocal. Alright? So for example, sa ating notation, if you have, kung napansin nyo sa ating notation, mayroon tayong a 1 over a times a equals to 1. Ang ibig sabihin, any number or real numbers multiplied by its reciprocal is equals to 1. That is the principle of multiplicative inverse property. So any number, again, any number, because the ang number natin dito is, or the real numbers represented by a. So ang reciprocal niya is 1 over a. So ang ibig sabihin, 1 over a times a, that is 1. So for example, your real number is 2. So the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. Tama? So for example, 1/2. So 1/2, or let's say, for example, your real numbers is 2. So times 1/2, because the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. Tama? So it means ang sagot mo is 1. Bakit? Kasi of course we have to multiply 2 times 1, that is 2. 2 divided 2 is 1. That's why yung sagot mo is 1. That is the multiplicative inverse property. Any numbers multiplied by its reciprocal equals to 1. How about the additive inverse property? Ano naman ito? Additive, ang ibig sabihin from the root word add. So ang ibig sabihin, any real numbers added by its inverse is equals to 0. Yan ang property naman ng additive inverse. Sabi dyan sa ating symbols or notation is a plus negative a equals to 0. So ang ibig sabihin, any number or real numbers added by its inverse. Of course, pag sinabi natin inverse, sa integers there are two kind of integers, the positive and the negative. So the inverse of positive is negative. So the inverse of negative is positive. So for example, our a is positive. So ang inverse niya is negative. So if you have to add this, equal to 0. So that is the property of additive inverse property. So for example, negative 5. So pag ang real number mo is 5 or negative 5, so add by its inverse, that is positive 5, to equal to 0. That is the principle of this property. So I hope na you have to learn more this module. So paki-review na lang sa ating video, and then if you have some question, you can communicate with me. Sa ating exercises, for example, in the table A, so gagawin nyo is to identify the property. Sabi dyan, which property of real numbers satisfies statement. So in a given statement. So you have to identify what kind of property is it. So next is the fill in the blank. Alright, so sa ating active exercises, letter B is fill in the blank and determine what properties were used to solve the equation. So ang ibig sabihin, gawan mo siya ng or hanapan mo siya ng integers na ilagay mo dyan para magiging totoo ang equation. Then, you have to find out what properties you have used to solve the equation. So, in your next lesson 3 to 2 of this is called about the forms of rational numbers. So, because you have already studied different properties, now the objective of this lesson is you are expected to express rational numbers from fraction form to decimal form. So that is what the module we're going to help you is to give you an idea of that you have to make fraction. Okay, yung fraction form gagawin mo siyang decimal, and then vice versa, yung decimal gagawin mo siyang fraction. Again, what is fraction? Fraction composed of numerator and denominator. Yung mga kita nyo dyan sa ating activity 1, 1/4, that is fraction. 5 halves, that is fraction. So mostly, pag sinabi nating fraction, you can identify that there is a numerator and denominator. So, ang gagawin mo is you have to make it or transform it into decimal and then decimal to fraction. That is the two thing that we have to do this lesson 3 to. So that is the activity that you have to do. Change the following rational numbers in fraction form or mixed number form to decimal point or decimal form. So number 1, mayroon tayong 1/4 or letter A, may 1/4, may or negative 1/4, may 3/10, may mixed number tayo. So maybe you can solve this. But hindi ako magtatagal dyan. Gusto ko lang i-point out yung rule natin para hindi kayo mahirapan. Kasi sa mathematics, importante maintindihan nyo ang rule. So, some of the discussion is basahin nyo na lang. And then gusto kong i-point out yung rule natin. Paano ba gagawin? Ito. Sa ating rule number 1, remember that the rational number is a quotient. Alright? Quotient of two integers. Di ba sinabi ko kanina, pag rational, it is a fraction. Okay? Sabi dito, it is a quotient of two integers. So, sabi dyan, to change rational numbers in fraction form, you need only to divide the numerator by denominator. So, yan lang ang pinakamadali na tindihin nyo. Pag nakakita kayong fraction, then you are asked to change fraction to decimal form. What you have to do is just divide the numerator by denominator, and then you can find out its, or you can have its decimal form. So, kung mayroon tayong mga mixed fraction, sabi dito, change to proper or improper fraction, then divide. So, kung may mixed fraction siya, kung mixed fraction, kung napansin nito, mayroon dyan sa taas. Yan, mayroong mixed number. Yung may whole number din fraction, that is called mix. Mix yan, mix. So, ang gagawin mo dyan, sabi dito is, first, you have to make it or transform it into proper or improper fraction. Tapos bago ka mag-divide. So of course, everyone knows how to divide because that is the basic operation you have to do in this topic. Now, changing fraction to decimal form. So again, what you have to do is divide the numerator by denominator. So that is the first thing you have to do in making the fraction to decimal form. Next, how about the decimal point? Right, so rule number 2, itong tatandaan. What about non-terminating but repeating decimal forms? How can they change to fraction form? Study the following example. So for example, itong example natin sa number 1, change 0.2. So kung napansin nyo, mayroong guhit sa taas. That is a repeating term. Ang ibig sabihin nun, itong 0.2 natin is continuous. Continuous siya. That is a repeating decimal form. So, ang gagawin natin is transform this decimal point into fraction. So, sabi dito sa ating rule 2, since there is only one repeated digit, alright, kung napansin niyo isang digit lang, 2, nag-ulit-ulit siya, so isa lang. So, sabi dyan is multiply the first equation by 10. So, sabi dyan, i-multiply mo pala. Dahil isa lang siya, so, i-multiply mo siya by 10. Alright? Tandaan na? So, ito ang gagawin natin is, kanina, fraction to decimal. So, ngayon, decimal to fraction. So, ang gagawin mo, pag repeating decimal siya, non-terminating, titingnan mo kung ilang number ang naga-repeat siya. So, kung isang numero lang, for example dito, number 2 lang siya. So, ang gagawin mo is multiply the first equation by 10. So, lagay mo siyang, example, R. That is your real numbers. For example, real numbers. R, so equals to, i-write mo yung given decimal form. So, 0.222. So, depende sa'yo kung ilang gusto mo dyan na 2 kasi repeated na siya. So, again, times 10. So, ang ibig sabihin, R times 10, that is 10R. So, ang 0.222 times mo siya sa 10 equals to 2.222. Ayan siya. Next, then subtract the first equation from the equation and obtain. So, i-minus mo. Alright, the first equation to the second equation. So, ang ating second equation is 10R. Alright, 10R. Minus mo sa ating 9 or 1 sa R. So, ang sagot natin is 9R equals to 2. Bakit 9R? Kasi 10, di ba 10? 10R minus R or 1R equals to 9. So, sa ating decimal point naman is yung 2.2, i-minus mo yan dyan. So, ang tira niya is yung 2.0. Yan ang sagot dyan. So, transpose. So, 9R. Or you can divide with the same number. So, because this is 9, dapat mawala itong 9. So, dapat matira dito is R. So, ang ginagawa dyan mostly, you have to divide the same number. So, ito ay 9R. So, divide mo siya sa 9. Kasi 9, para mawala yung 9, divide mo siya sa 9. So, cancel out ang 9, R na lang. So, ang 2 naman sa kabila, divide mo siya din sa 9. So, that's why yung R natin now is 2/9. Alright? So, again, Anong ba ginawa natin? So, ang given natin is 0.2. Repeated siya, palit ulit. Then, dahil isa lang siya, nga nag-ulit-ulit, i-multiply natin by 10. So, ito na ang ating bagong equation. Ito ang first equation natin. Dito ang first. Ito naman ang ating second para hindi kayo malito. Ngayon, i-minus natin ang second by first. So that's why ito siya 10 minus r, or 10r minus 1r is 9r. That's why 9r dito. Yan, napansin nyo. Next, so sa 2.22 naman, pag minusan mo yan sa 0.222, ang sagot niya is 2 or 2. 2 siya, 2. So, para mawala yung 9 kasi nahabol natin yung variable natin na r, i-divide mo siya the same number. So kung ano ang kasama dyan ng r, i-divide mo siya the same number para ma-cancel out. So pag mag-divide ka dito sa left side, dapat mag-divide ka din dito sa right side. So 9r. Okay, so divide mo siya sa 9. Ganyan. O, di lang. Lagyan natin na. So, 9R. Divide 9. Yan, ganyan siya. So, equals to 2 divide 9. Ganyan siya. So, dito naman, cancel out ng 9. So, that's why R na lang. Tapos, yung natira is 2, 9. So, this is the fraction form now of 0.2. Ganyan siya. So, about the example number 2. Example number 2 naman, change negative 1.35 to its fraction form. So, kung napansin niyo dito, mayroon na tayong dalawang decimal point, 3 at saka 5. Alright, 3 at saka 5. So, actually, may guhit pa yan sa taas. That's what repeated decimal points yan. So, sa ating rule number 3, since there are 2 repeated digits, multiply the first equation by 100. So, kanina isa lang, so times 10. Ngayon, idalawa na. So, 100. In general, if there are n repeated digits, n multiply with the first equation by 10. So, ang ibig sabihin, kung ilang decimal digits nag-repeat ang isang decimal points or isang term. So, kung isa, 10. Kung dalawa, 100.